Okay. Okay, then share the
Okay.
screen. Share. But I lost the screen because it's uh okay. April 6th. Okay. All right, we're starting the meeting here of the Nasco Community Plan Steering Committee. And this is the Monday, April 6th, 2026 meeting. Welcome to all participants, and we have subcommittee members. I am hoping to see Sarah today because she's got a report on the traffic part of the thing that she's going to work on.
Yeah, she said she would be right about 4:15. So we'll get rid
Okay,
of the overhead stuff and then time for
oh,
her.
and she'll be here. Okay, sounds good. So the committee members here, and we will get their identities as we ask them to approve the agenda. So please say your name and then whether you approve the agenda or not. Starting with
Uh,
Tom.
Tom's side, I approve the agenda and I have no conflicts of interest.
Wow, we're doubling down here, going for
Oh
it.
yeah.
Okay, Lynn.
Lynn Saxton, approve the agenda, no conflicts.
All right, Guy
I, Sievert, approve the agenda, no conflicts.
and Lori.
Lori Kovac, approve the agenda, no conflicts.
And Rand Cook, I approve the agenda and have no conflicts. Okay, check those boxes. Um, So we had minutes, and I think you all got the minutes, sent them out, and my only correction is Lori's last name somehow got changed to an N instead of a K and lost the C. I don't know. Anyway, my apologies for that. Um, and any other changes? Noted? No? Okay. And then we are today, we're going to, as we're going to review draft 42. We also want to make sure that we place the pieces that were rejected from the policy sections and find a home for them in the document. And those were in the minutes. I could possibly pull those up so we can look at those. And then I also want to uh, prepare for the April 8th meeting of the Transportation Committee by looking at the road pieces from the community plan that we want to make sure that committee is looking at, because I don't think Jeff Walton, who is the NCAC representative on this, has any knowledge of the community plan or what's in it. So I think either we can bring those things up separately or we can provide those to Jeff for his presentation as part of that meeting.
I'm wondering if it, well, I don't know what Sarah did with some of the things that we had drafted from
Right?
that meeting. She was going to take them to Chris or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Tom may know, but whatever we have, it might be good by the end of the meeting today to take whatever it is we have, even if it hasn't changed much. I mean, I understand Sarah saying some of this needs to go to this transportation committee. At least, maybe just send up something to Jeff at the end of
right,
by the end of the meeting today, so at least he knows what we're talking about. Not that we
right.
want him to present anything, just that he knows what we're thinking. So
So a document for Jeff, just so he's up to understanding what is in the community plan that needs to come before this committee.
well, in what we're discussing, nothing's been approved. We haven't gone before the whole CAC.
Right, but what's in
Just
it
let
now?
them know that these are the kinds of things that we're talking about. So
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and it might be worth our while to specifically invite him to the meeting. I hadn't thought of that till just now, but it would be really good if he could participate in the discussion.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, I guess that's something I can do.
future meeting.
Future meeting. Hard to do
Future
in the
meeting.
past meetings.
Yeah. Oh,
He could review them all and see what he thinks.
yeah.
Up to
Yeah, he could.
I've been watching a lot of science fiction lately. I think it's possible.
Yeah.
But meeting.
Okay. So those are the things that I had besides perspective and preparation for public review of content, and we're not quite there yet. So the pieces that were taken out are those were things we were going to replace into the document. I looked at them; they were pretty. I said I would show you those, so let's see if I can conjure those. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing this piece, and then I'm going to go behind the screen with the wizard here, and the minutes, they disappeared too. Mm, Document. Hmm. Thought I was just looking at the minutes. No, I'm sorry. I thought these were all right here. I might just have to read them to you here because I have them on paper, but how did I get the paper if I can't find them on? Okay, the mysteries of meetings. Um, So we had policy 7, limit vehicle access to authorized emergency vehicles, and Lynn provided the statement, which is Nesquin Beach does not allow personal cars or vehicles on the beach. All vehicular use is limited to government authorized and permitted vehicles for regulatory purposes. So did you get that, Tom, or
I did.
did we
And I
place it?
thought we would go ahead and, well, we are meant to collect things, which I did, and then go through it and do live edits. That was
Okay,
my understanding of the way
okay.
forward.
All right, that's fine. I just wanted to check, just see.
Yeah. I have
Um,
some alternative language and we can decide between the two or have something else.
okay,
Well, for one, we can't make rules about the beach, but we can recommend them. And I think
right,
that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
only thing. Well, the first thing I would change in that statement is that
recommend.
that's what we're.
Well, we're not going to discuss that now.
Oh, right. We got to wait
Not
till
yet.
we,
Oh, we're not discussing it yet. Sorry.
right, yeah, we're just, we'll do that when we do policy 7. And then the other one was about lot coverage, policy 12. The other one was land use, policy 13. So we can do those sequentially in the document as Tom leads us through it and read those
Well,
statements.
actually, those were removed, I believe. So there's nothing to
Right.
show.
Oh,
Uh,
so we have to determine where they go or if they
no,
go.
I think the determination, just in time, Sarah. I think the things that were removed were deemed to be not appropriate for a community plan.
Within the main text of the community plan, right? And I think
Right.
if we want to have something in an appendix or whatever, Sarah's kind of going to guide us on that. But some things that have recommendations that have nothing to do with land use planning and would not be part of the comp plan, actually.
Yeah, and that's why they were taken out. So now we have to sort out if and where we would put those.
Right.
So, Tom, do you want to do that in a sequential way with where we left off, or do we do this as a separate process.
That's, if we want to make an appendix, that would be a separate process.
Okay, so maybe we hold on to them because our main target is to do the community plan and the edits that are there. So
Yeah.
I'll hold on to this document and these statements. And as we make it through the document and we get to the appendix, we can see where to put these. Does that sound reasonable?
Yes.
I have a question. I got here right at 4, so I didn't hear any talk beforehand. And I know Lynn's leaving at 5, I think she said.
Right.
5:15.
So is there anything we want to rearrange on the agenda so that Lynn's participating in that part? And I don't want to waste time figuring it out then.
First thing up is Lynn's comment, so I think we're going to cover it. If she
Right.
Sorry,
has
but
anything else,
it could be 40 more years before the Wolverines get to the playoffs. So this is maybe the
I'm
last of
not
my
criticizing.
We
No,
have no
no
problem
worries.
with that. We understand your joy.
lifetime.
Um, so yeah, let's tackle Lynn's statement and understand where that fits and what language is appropriate for that.
But since
Okay.
we have Sarah here, the piece I didn't want to disturb you at work and ask, and the piece I mean, we can change all the words. Neskowin has been a no-car beach for at least 70 years.
Uh-huh.
And so, Sarah, to me, what I need to know is what we need to do to maintain that status, because that's the key language.
Mhm. So that is all under the jurisdiction of the Oregon Parks and Rec Department. We have no jurisdictional authority on who gets to drive on the beach and who doesn't.
Okay. And so, do you know anything about their process? Do they give permits or is there a process attached to that?
There's a process. So they have there's a narrowly defined scope of allowances for a drive on beach permit. It's an
Thank you.
actual thing.
Okay.
In terms of like when they closed beach access to parts of Pacific City, right on the at Cape Kiwanda a couple
Yes.
of years ago,
Yes.
that was a process. That was a process done at the state level with OPRD. So
Okay.
I
So for
don't know. It's at their discretion, Lynn.
So, yeah. And so, for purposes of this discussion, to save everyone time today, I thought it would be county jurisdiction. I didn't know it was parks jurisdiction, although that obviously makes more sense. So, I will go and research before our next meeting what is the criteria and how it's approved and what language we need to include to sustain current status. And so, rather than discussing it now, let me go do that homework. I just couldn't when I when I Googled cars on the beach, I never got to a helpful point. So, and I didn't want to call you up, Sarah, and take you away from something else. So I can do that homework and I will.
Yeah. And
Okay.
Lynn, if you want to reach back out to me, because I think under community character, what this is like the community, I don't know, values open beaches that are where vehicular access is prohibited, right? I mean, something it's going to have to be framed something like that because putting a
something like,
policy in the plan makes no sense if it's completely unenforceable. Like we don't have the jurisdictional authority to enforce it.
Right.
But like we
so
before
in
that,
that sense, but we got a paragraph up here that I think says that. The one under Tom. Lynn's paragraph is that she was to submit is above, which I thought sounded a little bit like a policy. And I just made it a bit softer, or made it a practice, and it's important to maintaining the character of the community.
So, Tom, I think yours is better than mine. and let me do my homework and find out if that's sufficient, because I know there would be litigation if Parks and Recreation determined vehicle access was permitted for recreation. That would be a lawsuit. We know it would be. So let me
Okay.
do the homework, and then let's hold on to yours, Tom. You can drop mine, but I'll get the homework done.
Okay, so I've copied that and I'm going to go to that. And that's the,
Character value, yeah.
and I gotta need to unindent that. And so that's probably need an extra space in there. Okay. Anybody object to that?
Now me.
Okay,
Okay, we'll double
Progress.
check it. Thank you. Good
Okay.
work, team.
yeah. I just took the sentiment and
Yeah,
so apparently I was channeling Sarah.
there you
'Cause
go.
She said almost exactly what I did.
Yes,
All
thank
right.
you.
Very good. Let's hope Michigan plays that well.
Yes, fingers crossed.
Okay, so if we could go through the things that are pending so that we can go to a pure
Form,
comment and resolution thing like this. This worked out really well.
yeah,
We had alternatives, decided on what we wanted, and plugged it in, rather than having to look at changes to changes to changes, which
right.
was making your poor editor unhappy.
Weary.
Okay. Weary, that's it. So we had a point to be verified. I think that was,
It was
I don't remember who had. Okay,
Nick.
Kinnick.
Yep, I'm still working on that. I'm sorry.
okay, okay. So we'll add
Hold on.
action, Sarah.
Yep, yep.
You don't do anything but Nesquin stuff, though, do you?
You
That's
know,
always on her mind.
if I only
Yeah.
Nescone things, no, I'm kidding. I love doing Nescone things. That's what I'm saying. I love
Okay.
small
Okay,
Okay.
okay. This is something I added because most things had an implementation. And I just wanted to verify that that's the implementation. That's how that would happen.
Through them, Department of Community Development. Okay.
Yeah,
That good?
that is good. As long as
Okay.
so question for the group. It is the implementer is us, but that unless language in the paragraph above can determine our implementation action. So does that make sense to everybody? The old
Yeah.
implemented.
Yes, I'm familiar with
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to accept that. And now the next thing we had pending was a rewrite of outreach. I'm wondering about the utility of that. We already have a newsletter from NCA.
And they are
the
now
NCA
they're now doing every other week or something, beach something.
Beach
Buzz.
Buzz.
Right.
So I don't think we need this, but I didn't want to just.
No, I don't think we could drop it.
Yeah, we don't need it.
Less is more. I like it. Okay, next thing, that's because Word. Okay, once again, I've invented the implementation of Department of Transportation and ODP, or whatever it is, Oregon Department of, anyway.
So Tom, it's the Tillamook County Public Works Department.
Okay, any other comments?
Tom,
Get rid of it.
is the beach access question in another section?
I don't recall that it is.
So I did go back last weekend and hike down on what used to be the beach access on Kinnickinnick. And it is still, there are no signs. It has asphalt poured. It has practically a parking lot, which appears to be distinct from the two houses on either side of the beach access. And you can walk. I walked, from Kinnickinnick down through the beach access down to the beach. So, so I,
Done so myself several times.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So I think we should leave it in here, Sarah, unless you found something.
I have not found anything yet, but I have asked the county surveyor and
Oh,
the
good.
works director to help me research that.
Perfect. So from my perspective, looks like there remains with an asphalt area, a beach access, but it is not identified. And Sarah, I don't know if that's come up in the road litigation and
Discussion.
process that's gone on there. So thank you for checking that out.
Yeah, well, and that's why I wanted to talk to them is because I have not been involved in that other matter.
Yep.
So I just want to make sure we don't speak out of turn in this document.
Right,
Thank
but
you.
What other
so that
what
the
other
road,
Sarah?
the road says that it's not maintained by the county
Oh,
from the S curve north.
Oh,
So it may be that they can't service that because they can't put a sign up or anything because that's not a county road. It's Jeff Walton's road, apparently.
well, it's yeah.
Un-
To complicate it a little more, I think there's not only Kinnickinnick, but I think there's another road. I think there are two roads, two access points, what we would commonly refer to as the first fire hydrant and the second fire hydrant. Um, so, Sarah, when you look, those have always been two beach access points, and under general understanding among some that those are county roads that could be beach access points. So just when you look and check on it, I'd be curious to see. But yeah, Lynn's right
So,
because I used to park where she's talking about and go access the beach that way. So
should we list those ones that you're not sure about, first and second fire hydrants? I'm sure not sure that's going to be
I don't think
intelligible to.
I don't think that's the way to. But I'm just suggesting when Sarah does check this out, that my understanding historically from people who tell me that there are 2 points of access. I know the one Lynn's talking about. I parked there. The second one, which is the second fire hydrant down.
That,
You're talking about down Hawk Street. So
yeah,
And Lynn's right. There used to be a sign on one of them I don't know who put up. Somebody was stubborn, but the two houses on either side took it down because they didn't want to advertise that it was a beach access point.
So I'm like I said, I am looking at that carefully, and
Yeah.
I will share with you what
Yeah.
has been determined to be appropriate to be listed there.
Yeah, no, that's
Okay.
perfectly fine. That's all we want to find out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go back to that other statement about connectivity that we have in the neighborhoods. I think it was just above that. And,
you want to go backwards?
well, I just want to say when we were talking earlier, Tom, about what we would send to Jeff
Yeah.
prior to the Wednesday night meeting, that section was one of the things I was thinking about that we would forward to Jeff saying this is what we're discussing in the community plan so that he knows if something comes up and I intend to bring something up on Wednesday, it's not it doesn't come as a surprise to him.
Guy, can you elaborate on that? Because I want to make sure that this process stays very separate and distinct from those other matters.
Right. And so we're talking about, so
Yeah.
you saw the statement about interconnectivity and encouraging a transportation plan that that focuses us on non-auto, other ways of transportation between our 12 or 13 neighborhoods.
So you're talking about policy 11,
Policy
which
11.
does
Okay.
not specifically identify multiple neighborhoods. It's more of a general statement for community wide.
Yeah. Well, it's a statement that indicates connectivity between neighborhoods. I don't know if that
Right.
language, I can't read it here, but
If you can't read that, I've got as big as it'll go.
I'm on a small iPad. I'm not in my office,
Oh.
so I
Oh.
apologize.
Well, I can read it to you.
No,
The Nescoin community will work with Tillamook County and Oregon Department of Transportation to develop an access management plan for Nescoin to promote improved connectivity throughout the community with focus on development of an interconnected bicycle pedestrian system to encourage non-auto dependent travel. The access management plan shall explore strategies for ingress, egress to and from Highway 101.
so the first part of that, I would actually add something about our Nescoin neighborhoods or something to some reference to what we're actually talking about, the connectivity between South Beach, the Village, the Crest, North Nescoin, that kind of stuff. I would
So
just
it
So
says,
I can work with Director Laity on that guy. I think again some of this will come out after the transportation system plan update meeting that's coming up.
So what we were talking about, Sarah, before you joined us, was that we understand that Jeff Walton has been appointed as the NCAC representative to that committee, that transportation committee, and that there's going to be a meeting this Wednesday night. And we thought,
Wide meeting, correct.
and we thought that it was just that we would share with Jeff what we were talking about in the plan, just as part of the discussion, not that it's been approved or anything else, but that he sees this is something that's been of interest to people. That's all we were talking about.
Great, thank you. And I think just being sensitive to multiple moving pieces, including this work, that transportation system plan development is a separate process that
Oh,
will
yeah.
be by Public Works. So and so it's good that Jeff's a part of that, and I know he's working with Director Laity on some of that, his feedback on that as well. But I would just say, just making sure that we don't unintentionally get engaged in a premature conversation when we haven't even finished, like we haven't even had the community meeting for the transportation system plan updates yet.
mhm.
Yeah, it was an information only sharing with him.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Okay.
I don't think we understand there's two processes going on, and so that was it. But it was just a way of helping Jeff understand some of the things. If he wanted to know, he can deal with it as he wishes. So
That's great. And I'm assuming he'll be on the meeting Wednesday, and I'm hoping you all are as well to share those transportation
right,
that feedback with the consulting team.
right.
Perfect. Okay.
So what you asked for, Guy, I think is already there.
All right.
You've got connectivity throughout the community and interconnected bicycle pedestrian system. I think it's already there.
That's fine. I mean, the only thing what I said was just to make it clear that it's a multi-neighborhood kind of connectivity, but the term community in general refers to the whole Nescoin community, and by reference, that's it. So I'm fine with it. Fine with it.
I actually agree with Guy that I'd love to see the word between the neighborhoods in that paragraph somewhere. Improve connectivity throughout the neighborhood, particularly between the neighborhood, the community, particular between the neighborhoods or something.
I don't understand how it doesn't say that.
Well, you could say throughout the community, and it could be a circular road that went around the perimeter of the community and have nothing to do with people getting back and forth between the different neighborhoods. I mean,
The word interconnected says that.
Okay. If I was
Okay.
reading this, not part of the committee and having heard this discussion, that would, to me, that doesn't say, oh, great, there's going to be connections between the neighborhoods.
Okay.
But I get
Okay.
it.
So,
The words mean that.
so if you'll propose a change
So, Tom,
and
I would prefer that these types of transportation related policies, I'm happy to do this work if it's wanted, just so we make sure. I don't want to start adding more stuff that may have to be taken out later. But here's my concern. Have we defined neighborhoods?
yes,
Yes, we have a map of them.
Okay, and so because I don't have for planning purposes, I have subdivisions defined. I have zoning districts defined, but I do not have neighborhoods defined.
Well, we have them right
we
here.
do.
Okay. And Wainema is outside of the community boundary, as is Slab.
We understand that. We
And-
understand and acknowledge that. It's
Okay.
just, these are neighborhoods. In the broader area, we have some
Mhm.
words near the beginning that talks about, this is about the land use within it. And we have concerns of the adjacent areas
Mhm.
be in harmony. I don't
So,
remember exactly how we
So-
said it.
so
how,
Sarah, just quick question on this topic. Neighborhood is a legal term, right, in Portland. Is it
right?
so you can't declare yourself a neighborhood in Portland without official recognition and et cetera. What is the county's thing on neighborhoods?
So for planning purposes, we would have to define it, and we have not done that in rural unincorporated areas or
Right.
unincorporated communities. What I like about this map, and to support what Lori and Guy are asking for, this is what comes in that transportation system plan itself. And that is where this work is done. The policy supports it, but this map, like this is what I'm thinking for that transportation system plan development. ODOT and the consultants, they need this map. That specificity for those neighborhoods needs to be tucked into that plan for that interconnectivity work.
Right, but I guess my question is a technical one for the point that that Lori's making, and I think Guy too. But for just so there is no confusion,
Yeah,
these are not neighborhoods under Oregon's land use law, to my knowledge. These
correct.
may be areas that we consider communities within the Nescoin area, some in the Nescoin area and some not. But we just need to be clear here because people
We were clear, if I could cut you off, we were clear by saying there are informal designations in the text.
in this
They're
in the fine
informal
print. Okay. So on
in the
this
fine print.
in this chart, what does it say at the top?
Well, I didn't add that, but I could.
Yeah, because this says the neighborhoods of Nescoin. So I think we need to clarify that.
Yeah,
The informal or
I would agree.
Okay, I'm gonna have to put a
Well,
comment here.
yeah,
Chad.
yeah,
Back to my comment about the interconnectivity
mhm,
here of it. I could see someone saying, oh, well, of course they're interconnected. They all connect to 101, and 101 connects to each of these neighborhoods. So they are clearly connected, And so I guess what I would love the words to be more clear about is that we're looking for connections besides 101. In my head, I don't care if it says neighborhood or what, but an interconnectivity, ideally, that wouldn't just depend on it, you going out to 101 and going to another neighborhood and then back to 101 and then another neighborhood.
So Lori, I think to that point, I think that's why we need to clarify what these are. Because, for example, some people in some areas may not want connectivity.
Oh, okay.
Because of the implications of connectivity. So again, this is not a legal document. It doesn't carry the weight of law, but we also want the community to understand what they're supporting or objecting to or whatever they're thinking. But it's the kind of thing where if those are designated communities in Nescoin, presumably those communities would have a say in connectivity. And that would not perhaps not be a county discussion. It gets complicated.
I think if there's first of all, these are recommendations coming from our committee from what we think is the best sense of what we've heard. If once we present it to the CAC, if there are communities who say they're not in favor of that, they don't want people to have general non-auto access, then they can bring that up when we bring it to
Right.
the community.
That's my point though, Guy. That's why we need to say that
That's
they're
fine. Well, we could bring it up.
communities, not neighborhoods.
Well, the other thing, Lynn, is I just did a search, and neighborhood is not a term within Oregon land use law.
Right.
I think it's a city of Portland thing. It's not an Oregon thing. It's not in statute.
Right.
So neighborhood is not a legal term.
It goes beyond Portland, but I will say this discussion again is excellent, but it's not part of this document. It's specific to the transportation system plan. And that is where all of these areas of the community would have their input for that interconnection and connectivity, but it's not, that is a separate plan. It is not this plan. The
Got it.
policy supports that work that will be done in a different plan.
Got it.
Lori, I can look at something to put at the end of that sentence where it says with focus on development of interconnected bicycle pedestrian system to encourage non-auto dependent travel. Punchline. And I'll see what I can do, but I just caution us not to spend too much time on this because the point is you want interconnectivity throughout the community. We're referencing the development of an access management plan, which falls under the transportation system plan. So we've connected the two by saying we want to see this done.
There's a lot of things, Sarah, and in general, that there may be, for instance, here's another example. We may say, and I can't even remember if this is in here, that we would, safety is an important aspect of our village. We are things, and we want to do something to support the sheriff's coverage of Nescoin. I don't know whatever statement that is. I mean, we want to say something to increase the value of safety within Nescoin. Well, of course, that's not within our jurisdiction to tell the sheriff what they can do, but we can make recommendations to the sheriff about increasing patrols or something like that. And if the community says we, as part of something to be safer and whatever, isn't that part of, and that's not a land use thing. I understand. And we're talking about things that are going to be other general recommendations that are going to be somewhere yet to be determined. But why can't we, just like with transportation, interconnectivity, safety, we would like to see extended sheriff coverage in South County in general, not have to wait 45 minutes for a general response, that kind of stuff.
So a recommendation and a policy, Guy, are two different things.
I get it. Yeah.
We're talking about access management. This is a policy. What you're talking about, the recommendations, those recommendations would carry over with community participation in providing feedback to the sheriff. But the policies are what we point to. So just to kind of put a little twist on Lynn's statement, the policies are law, right? So when we look at conditional uses, other legislative text amendments, these policies are part of that criterion because it's the goals and policies within the comprehensive plan, which policy 11 will be. It's not a recommendation.
So policy 11, this gets the whole policy.
Let me tell you, do you want me to thread it for you?
Well, just the policies in general are things that you took from the comp plan and said we needed to address certain policies in certain areas. So we did this overlay of all these policies. And the access management plan, is that, and I didn't look this up, I apologize, but is the access management plan a policy of the county? That's something within the county comp plan?
So there is a transportation element to the county comp plan.
Right.
What this policy, what's significant about this policy is that as Public Works, Community Development, and ODOT continue to develop this transportation system plan with focus on multimodal connectivity opportunities throughout several unincorporated communities in Tillamook County, when I have to bring when I have to update the county's transportation element of the comp plan, which will be my part once we're done with this transportation system plan update.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is write a finding in my staff report that says the Nescowan community plan, the Oceanside community plan, the Neocani community plan, all these community plans support the work done with the transportation system plan is consistent with the goals and policies of the county's comprehensive plan, including specific community plan policies that are embedded in Goal 14.
So what would you say would be the limit of what we can say under policy 11?
I think what we have.
Right there.
Any specificity and refinement is going to be in the transportation system plan itself, driven by community feedback at our meetings.
Okay. I'm great with that. So we can leave that as a policy.
I mean, I think that solves the problem. That solves the neighborhood problem, and it solves Sarah's problem. I think as it's written, it does what we want it to do, which points to another process to improve access.
Right.
Well, I still like the term neighborhood. I'm with Lori on this, and but this
Guy,
fight over this. So
I like the word neighborhood too. But a lot of people, these are property owners as well. And a lot of these people are very familiar with the Oregon model, it's not common in other states. It is unique to Oregon. I mean, maybe not New York. I guess New York may have neighborhoods in the law in terms of being affected by land use. So as long as we say informal neighborhoods, I'm fine.
Again, Lynn, neighborhood is not a term used in Oregon land use law. I looked it up. So
no, it's used in the comp plans of the jurisdiction. So in Portland, if you live in Portland,
I get Portland. I lived in Portland, so I know there's that.
And you're selling real estate.
I know that
it matters that you are in the X neighborhood. And so I'm just saying clarification. I'm not changing the content at all.
Okay.
Well, and there are some neighborhoods throughout the Nescowan community that are private and gated. And I think that goes back to, I think that's one reason to leave this the way it's written, is because that's transportation system plan update process that will determine and guide where trail connectivity or multimodal connectivity goes in the future. Those folks are going to have a say on that because those are private property. So not all 17 community neighborhoods may be a part of that.
So Sarah, we can leave out informal then. If that's the case, then
I wouldn't touch it, Lynn.
Okay.
I think for our purposes, this is good because the transportation system plan itself is going to
deal with it.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I need to hear.
All right.
So as a bottom line, I can remove the comment about informal at the bottom.
Yep.
That I just put in before. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I have a question about just being clear. When I think of the bicycle pedestrian system to encourage non-auto dependent travel, I'm thinking about a system that does not depend on 101. The point in my mind is to give people a way to walk between locations with a minimum amount of time walking on 101. And
Mhm.
is that something that other people are in agreement about as a goal? And if it is there a way for us? Because to me, this doesn't say that.
I think Lori, and that's what we're going to talk. What
Jeff.
Sarah, what I understand Sarah is telling us is that those kind of particulars, that we should work with the transportation
Yeah.
plan committee, whatever it's called.
Mhm.
And Wednesday night is our time to make that kind of specific input.
Right.
Exactly. That's absolutely right.
Is it a committee or is it just Jeff Walton?
We can talk, I can talk to you about it specifically.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, Randall, just to jump in here real quick, because I sit on that, it's a steering committee that's comprised of multiple people throughout all of our unincorporated communities and state and local agency representatives, because to your point about interconnectivity, it's not just about the highway. It's about traversing through various areas of communities for connection. I know Jeff Walton is the person that sits on that steering committee for Nescoin, but feedback is not limited to Mr. Walton.
Right.
So your comments Wednesday night are super important, and we will be back to get more feedback from the community. This is the first listening session.
Right. Okay.
Okay,
Does that work for you,
read
Lori?
it.
Lori, does that work?
Apparently that's just the way it's going to be.
Well, that's where the content will be
Yeah.
important.
I have a lot of things I could say, but they're probably not appropriate here because I don't think we have any power from what I'm hearing to change anything.
It's not that we don't have power. We can make a general direction. The specifics are handled elsewhere.
Mhm.
Right.
We have the power of suggestion. It gets implemented elsewhere.
Right.
Okay, I had a question on, it's more of a structural question for the document. Do we need to have supporting text before each policy, or can we just list them? What do you think, Sarah?
You can just list them. You don't need to have supporting text before them because the the front of the body of the document is driving, like that's where these policies are coming from.
Okay,
You'd be
just want to
redundant.
make sure. I don't want to be redundantly repetitious.
Mhm.
Okay, the humor there, sorry. Once again, Public Works.
Yes, it is. Yeah, so it's Tillamook County Public Works Department.
Oh,
Yeah, put it in there.
and get rid of this. And what I intend to do is right after the meeting, I will publish this version that has the markup, and the things that we've agreed on, I will accept, and then we'll use that as our next target of comments. And once again, Public Works.
Mhm.
Now, if I encounter that any place else, I'll fix it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so the next pending change is, once again,
So Tom, can we talk about lines 24 through 26?
sure.
And you did see this typo. Okay.
Yeah, I fixed typos, by the way.
Thank you. So
I don't remember.
is lines
Go
20
ahead.
through 25 a policy?
That's a good question. Isn't it just saying do we need to make it a policy?
There's a shall in there, which kind of makes it an action.
Yeah.
Um, if we said should, that's not a policy. Shall is a directive.
Yeah. Well, same with policy. So policy 13.
It says should.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily consistent here.
Mm-mm. So I would, on policy 13, I would change should to shall. And then for 23, I would make that a policy, or I would move it back to the aspirational section of the document.
So to get to the issue about beach access points maintenance, should it be a policy? Does that give it more impact in that regard?
It may, the only thing that I'm thinking of is that when it comes to crack and public works, they have their own defined set of rules and ordinances that they work with. So if we say the community shall engage, that's a one directional mandate, right? It doesn't mean like, and public works may not always, like, it depends on what it is.
Did you really call them crack? Are they called crack?
Yeah, they are called
Oh my
crack.
gosh.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Okay.
Best acronym for an entity like that. But so just so I just want to make sure that we're clear on that in terms of the shall is one directional. And
Okay.
yeah.
I'm fine
Well,
with
as
should.
we do have a history of being one directional. Uh, and it may not be ideal, but it has been demonstrated that we'll fix the streets if the county won't. Now we have a cooperative relationship, but it has been true that it has been one directional in our
Well, and
history.
I will say that as Director Lady continues to do his road presentation that you guys all heard,
Yeah.
he really highlights the partnership and his appreciation of that partnership with Nescoen. So that's been a success story that he has shared with appreciation. I just want to make sure it's understood, if Public Works does something and doesn't solicit input from the community, that this policy doesn't come up with some sort of misinterpretation that Public Works shall work with the community. Because there may be some things, just, I don't know. I just want to make sure we're clear on that, that it's saying the community will, but depending on what it is, and quite frankly, there may not, if it's something that's an emergency or concern, there may not be time for Public Works to get that input from the community before taking action.
What if we said the Musqueam community values working with the county and county roads on future plans, blah, blah, blah.
I like that. But then I agree, Lori. I think that's perfect. I just don't know then if it belongs here because it's not a policy.
All right.
Well, the policies are interspersed between aspirational things, and that's the last way we organized it. We don't have a separate aspirational thing. They sort of interleave them. So I'll argue against moving it.
Okay.
Now, whether or not we say should work or shall engage, should work with the county,
I
that
like
seemed to
Lori.
be okay. So Lori, what did you say?
I said values, but should is fine with me. I thought that Sarah had a problem with should.
No, we were talking about, Tom and I were talking about should versus shall. I like the Nesco and community values engagement
Yep.
opportunities
Yep.
with the county and the County Roads Advisory Committee.
I think that sounds really nice.
That work for everybody?
Yep.
And as long as
Okay.
we understand that it's the cooperation that we get from the county is sometimes very dependent on the director of public works.
Oh,
So we, in language that we use, I mean, these aren't, we're not writing a contract with the county. I mean, it really does vary with who's in public works at a time. And so, yes, right now, this kind of sharing thing works, and that may be dependent on the people involved. It
Yeah.
probably is dependent on those involved. But I know of previous public works directors who hated our streets, skinny streets, didn't want to work on them because they were illegal, according to that person. So it just, I don't know how the language we use here. I understand that we support engagement or whatever, but just know that these things are really dependent on individuals.
Individuals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so how does that result in a change to the document? Which we
I'm
said,
thinking
I'm looking for
that
changes.
was a warning.
I think to Guy's point, I agree. I think it's the success is because of the people in the community willing to do the work and the director being willing to engage. And I think
Yeah.
this highlights that valued engagement that has created those success stories.
Right.
And as Rand knows, my thing is the people in the community who are doing the work are all on Social Security. So
Oh, that's for us to get younger people involved.
yes,
That's our job now, is to recruit replacements for each of us. Okay, let's move on so we can get back to near where we were last time.
Okay, so go to review and next.
Oh, it's right there. Oh, right.
Maybe I need to put this in my copy buffer.
There you go. Cut and paste that puppy.
So on policy 14, Tom, I would say instead of should be, I would say desires to be.
Desires to be.
I don't know. Because that whole prioritization is
out of our hands.
on money, storms, crack. So I think what you're trying to say is we want to be a part of it. We want to be a part of the decision-making process.
yes. And if we aren't, we will not value engagement. If we're just doing the work and writing the checks, we will not value engagement.
We could use the values involvement in that sentence also. I don't know what's more powerful, values or desires, but I would think values.
We could put
Values
Yeah,
is a bit
yeah.
passive. Desires is a bit more active.
Do you think so?
Yep.
Okay. I believe in
Okay.
that.
Anything? I'm a word nerd. Okay. Next change. That's bogus. Okay, is this the right implementation?
Tsunami warning system.
so
I was told in the CERT training that I went through that the tsunami warning system is an earthquake.
that is correct.
We don't need anything else. We don't
We-
have time for anything else.
No, we've had those localized sirens for years.
Yeah.
And in fact, they were so old they quit making the parts for them.
When they'd go off once a month, you couldn't remember if it was the time of the month for the practice or or the time it was actually a tsunami coming.
Yeah.
I remember that.
But don't we already have the signs up?
Mhm.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So what
Yeah,
is
we
this?
have
What is this
the
proposing?
signs are up.
we have this. We don't want that. So I'm not sure there's an action here.
Well, but I don't know why, do we need this policy? Because I thought we had tsunami signs up. And I
Well,
have a route on, I have a mailer from the county saying, here's how you get out of here.
and we have an
Yeah.
Excel system that for phones that also
Yep.
Yep.
is the tsunami warning system. So
And the,
there is a tsunami warning system.
yeah.
When,
So
when the
we don't
Japanese,
need this, is what I'm hearing.
So,
Anybody, anybody in love with this?
well, it seems like we should have something about the tsunami just because it, we want, we don't know how long this plan is going to be in effect. It could be in effect for a lot longer than 20 years. And there could be a different group of people that aren't paying attention. I don't know. It seems like the tsunami should be in there.
Somewhere.
Um,
If we don't
Lori,
have an action, go ahead. Sorry.
here would be a good action is the state updates its tsunami planning and its recommendations to citizens on a regular basis. There's a department that does it and they take it really seriously. They're great, they do great work. What we should do is collaborate with the county to ensure that the state's tsunami plan and the county's implementation of it is noticed because when you're in an unincorporated area, if you go on your computer, you will see what the updated thing is. But if there is some kind of, with your mail-in ballot or something, if we get to have those anymore, which I hope we do, would be the update to anything citizens need to know about the tsunami update from the state. That there
that
should
sounds
be,
great.
we need to know what's going on, and people, I'm not sure they understand where to go to
mhm.
get the tsunami. And again, that's really a state role, and maybe we just admonish the state that we need connectivity to their updated tsunami plans for the coast, because the coast is one of the state's principal focuses for earthquake preparedness, because it is one of the biggest concern areas, period. I mean, it's just, so I don't know how we connect and how we connect our citizenry to that as an unincorporated area. If you are in a city, you get this stuff. So like the city of Portland sends out stuff in your, or maybe it's PGE that sends it out, but you get this stuff about 2 weeks of water, blah, 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 blah. But I don't know how Nesco Inn gets it.
So
Mm,
maybe the policy should say that that, um, that, that, so that Nesquin educates the community regularly on the latest information from the state regarding tsunami preparedness or something like that.
Well, I think it's the county's job, and the county has the most access to communicating with people through its taxing and other measures. So I, I don't think it's the community's responsibility to take this on. There's a lot of tax money that goes into getting this done already. We just need to get, and particularly with email, we just need to be sure we're looped in. And I don't know how the county emergency preparedness people do that, but it would be great if they did it for unincorporated areas.
So
Oh,
there,
in fact, we do. In fact, they do.
yeah.
The
Good.
2 weeks ready plan, which is mentioned in the document, is exactly doing that, trying to just let people know what dangers there are, how to react in an emergency, and where the resources are. They are outreaching to people. Maybe they haven't got everybody, but they are doing outreach. So that is in process now.
Well, and you have the South Tillamook County Emergency Volunteer Corps. You got a lot of volunteers from
Yeah.
Nescoin. That you've got county's emergency management. So, Lynn, to your point, there is a designated person that's working with the EVC
Great.
for South Tillamook County, and the radio bond that was just approved for emergency response and emergency management. I think you're going to see, like, there's already a lot out there, and you're going to see a lot of things being pulled more together.
Great.
What I'm wondering is, so I have two thoughts on this. I'm wondering if there is a goal 7. So goal 7, statewide planning goal 7 is the natural hazards element of the statewide planning goals and Tillamook County comprehensive plan. I'm wondering if it's appropriate to pull something into that, because that's where like the tsunami facilities improvement plans, all that work that we did in 2019 is contained. So I'm wondering if we have a policy that talks about emergency preparedness that ties back to that. And then what I'm hearing is maybe a great opportunity at a CAC meeting is to have Randy Thorpe or the EVC come back and talk about updates to what the county and the EVC are doing together for emergency preparedness.
Yeah, that sounds like something that Susan could get pinged with.
Yeah.
Let me write down that note. I'll mention that to her as a possible topic.
Yeah.
Well, at a
Actually,
minimum,
it's Alex. Actually, it's Alex, isn't it?
I think it's Alex. Yeah.
I'll take that action. I'll send it off to. And I think I can, since is that business or not business, that I can copy everybody on it. I don't know. I won't.
I would send it just to Alex and just let him know that we
Okay.
had a conversation
Okay.
today.
Fair enough.
Mm.
Okay. That we circle back to, do we need this or not? I'm hearing not.
I think not.
so it'll appear somewhere else.
Do you want me to look at a policy to support the goal 7 work with the preparedness and the tsunami work that we've been doing in the land use program?
Yeah.
If there's a land use aspect of it, we sure do.
Okay.
Goal 7, did you say?
Yeah, it's goal 7 is the reference. And Lori,
Okay, and
I'll try to put something together with your comments in mind too. I think that's important. I think you're bringing up an important point here.
okay, yeah. You're going to have your name in here more than anything else, there, sir.
Well, it's a land use document, Tom.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Wrong.
Who else could we
Okay.
turn to?
It's called delegation, right?
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So we're going to have new text, and the subject is to be tsunami preparedness.
Preparedness. Yeah.
Tsunami, yeah. So we're going to talk about, it'll be risk reduction, hazard mitigation, and community resiliency.
Yeah,
Those
that's
are
what
all-
you'll say when you send it. That's what you'll say when you send it to me. Right now it's preparedness.
That's right.
Yeah,
You don't want to see me try to type that.
all good.
Okay, so that's an action for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is interesting. Okay.
Yeah. You might want to
And
Tillamook County somewhere in there, Tom, just for consistency was the only thing.
So, guys, storm drainage inclusive of things like a tsunami, or is it really just for other kinds of storms?
He's feeding the dog or something.
Okay.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know the storm drainage issues are usually revolving around whether it's individual home development or
Right.
subdevelopments coming up.
Okay.
Stuff.
Okay.
I mean, and I know the county has, and Sarah clearly would know with the history of this, but there's been a bit of a history of the county having strict enough regulations on storm drainage, especially during construction. Comes back to mind when I was head of the CAC, there was an issue with Sahali didn't manage during its development, didn't manage the storm drainage and damaged some of the wetlands below. And
Whoa.
but
Whoa.
anyways,
Okay, any further comments on this? Do we need anything more or less different?
No.
Okay. Okay, here's one that we needed an update on.
So I'm still working on that too.
Okay. Here's some new verbiage from longer ago, and I think it came from Guy. Proposed.
You got slope.
Anybody have?
Line 7, Tom needs an E.
No, I think it slops.
I think this, I remember when I wrote, if I did write this, kind of comes out of this my experience with the Sahali issue.
Mhm.
Okay,
So, Guy, I have a question for you on this.
sure.
So, what do you mean by strictly controlled and avoid interference with natural processes?
Let me just disturbance in the surrounding needs to be strictly controlled. I think is and you may have a better term that's more legally defensible, but again, as Sahali is an example, the lack of any structure, any controlled structure that they would use while they were uh, digging and changing the landscape, which caused a lot of runoff. So, if there's another term, I'm fine. Strictly controlled. I mean, it's just that.
So, are you referring specifically to the water quality and stormwater provisions outlined in a DEQ 1200C permit?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And I think it's, we've seen, and some of this is, some of this happens without county even knowing about it. People on their own do things, landscaping stuff some pretty heavy landscaping that results in heavy drainage and whatever and erosion into creeks. But I don't know any other way you want to put it. I understand that there are DEQ regs on this, and I understand that people enforcing those is sometimes difficult.
Yeah. Okay. So, but basically, what you're trying to get at is protection of water quality.
Protection of wetlands, streams, creeks, um, from heavy sedimentation coming in as a result of development, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I've got an example, Sutton Creek. It runs through our land. People upstream were incautious about the structures that they messed with.
So I
And
think
it ran mud
sorry.
for a while. Go ahead.
I apologize. Okay. So I think, Guy, this is the statement that leads into policy 20. Is that right? Is that where
Yeah,
we're trying to
right,
go? Oh,
right.
okay. Can I work on that a little bit?
with
Yeah,
what?
and we should probably, it's not just Tillamook, as you point out, it's not just Tillamook County and the permitting process that people should go through. But as Tom points out, there's a lot of things that happen without permits.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how we address that. Yeah, Sutton Creek is a good example of things that happen.
Yeah.
Probably our most exposed creek.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, yeah,
So
work on it. That's fine. That'd be great.
Okay.
You know what I'm
I
hoping.
know. Yeah, I think I know what you're trying to get. I'll do that and then I'll send that to Tom.
I'm good. I'm going to leave this whole thing red with a couple of things that we specifically need to address. Do I have that encapsulated correctly?
Mhm.
I think so.
Okay. Okay. And that actually is
Oh, and-
a typo,
okay.
as Guy pointed out. It is community boundary. Okay. Watershed protection. The sentence is new. What do we think of that? Let me,
Whoops. Go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that follows on with the policy.
Yep. The natural policy 21.
Yeah. Although that's not a very complete sentence.
Yeah. Let me try to beef that up once I work through these top things, including policy 18 and 19. I think that people all go together.
What's policy? Let's see, policy 21.
Is natural resources,
Right. So
which
are you going to work on, that obviously statement's got to be edited.
goal 5, which is so your natural resource elements are 3, farm, 4, forest, and 5, which is your wetlands. And actually goal 17 and goal 16 for estuaries and shorelands. So I think the way that would work is that policy 21 would be a statement when we talk about protecting significant natural resources. We're talking about wetlands, estuaries, shorelands, creeks, and streams.
Okay. So which comp plan, besides, I think one I heard was gone. What other ones don't apply?
7 or 18.
18. So the beach is a natural resource, but the beach is going to be on the public OPRD. So that's going to fall in largely to their realm. If we're talking about things associated with water quality, it's goal 5. It's goal
Okay.
16 and 17.
No 6 and no
Okay.
18.
No 6. I would say no 6 and no 18 because everything that's inventoried are in those 3 elements. You have mapped estuaries, you have protected estuaries, protected shorelands, and protected wetlands.
So 3 goes away as well? So
Right.
it's 4, 5, 6.
You don't have any you don't have goals 3 and 4 do not apply within the community boundary.
Oh,
Goal
Okay. So
1.
4,
So you're going to keep
3.
5, 16, and 17.
Okay.
And I will double check on 18 and 6, but in terms of if this is a section that talks about water quality related matters, I think those are the primaries.
So you said we
Okay.
don't have any zoned forest within our community boundary?
You do not, nor do you have farm.
Is that uh, South Beach property, that 40 acres that's being developed now with a house, which is zoned forest?
Uh-huh. It's outside of the boundary.
That's out. It's within South Beach community.
It's
I thought that-
It's accessed via South Beach Road.
yeah, I know. But so it's outside. Okay.
Yeah,
I,
in fact, you
I
have a split zone parcel up there too.
I thought our community boundary ran up on South Beach, ran up to the national forest, but it doesn't.
It does not. No, if the property was in the community boundary, it would not be zone forest. It would be
It's it
probably
down
necessary
here.
R1. Mhm.
So that's a. I guess I never even thought of that. So that it's impossible to have zone forests within the community, any kind of community boundary,
Correct. Or farm. You can have farm and forest uses as uses permitted outright in residential zones.
which
But,
we do.
right, but the zoning designations themselves, that's a no.
I never thought of that. That it just never has come up. Okay.
Okay.
So I have a question about the natural resources thing.
Mhm.
When we got rid of the beaches and some of those numbers that you said did have to do with water quality,
Uh-huh.
do we have, obviously people really value the beach and other natural resources besides water quality. Is there another place in our plan where because policy 21 just says natural resources, even though above there it says something about water quality. And
Mhm.
so I want to make sure that that if we don't include it here in the implementation goals, that somewhere we're more global about our value for natural resources.
Do you
Like
mean
here, I think it should be included here, all of them, whether or not they have to do with water quality, or we should find another place that makes sure that I'm just thinking as a member of the public, when they read this and if they did go back to what the actual goals and they said, well, we only value the things in goal 5, 16, and 17. What about the beach? Of course we value the beach or whatever, the other goals.
so Lori, I can add another policy for natural resources that address beaches and dunes. The farm and forest pieces, you've
Oops.
got the
Oh,
water
sorry.
protection piece.
I don't know why Word did that to me. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Um, and there's more coming on the forest and community interface.
Okay.
But I think
Okay. So,
we have to be careful because there's a relationship between adjacent resource lands and the community, but the policies that we are talking about specifically are implementable only in the community growth boundary, or excuse me, in the Nesquin community boundary, not the growth boundary, the community boundary. So I have to practice that sometimes. Some communities have growth boundaries, Nesquin does not.
Yeah.
Um, let me work on that part too. If I can come up with some
so
beaches and dunes.
okay. So I should make a note. New policy for beaches and dunes.
Yeah. And then I think what we can cover in here is going to come up on the pages with the relationship with adjacent forest zone properties.
Okay, which is where we're at. Is that where are we ready to go on to that? I didn't say that very clearly. Are we ready to go on to with that?
I guess depending on what Sarah comes up with for on the beaches and dunes, we might want to revise the title for that goal right above where it said natural resources. So if that natural resources is not supposed to be globally kind of considering all natural resources within our area, this is just a question. This is not like a definitive statement. I'm just wondering, should that policy 21 title be more nuanced? Depending on what for beaches and
Yeah, I will reevaluate the titles based on what we get from Sarah and see if I can't finesse something that's a little exclusive. I don't want to guess on to what the other one's going to look like, but
that makes sense.
I'll just put it. I'll just put a question mark there to remind me to maybe shade that to be a bit more exclusive.
I appreciate that, Tom. I think if I'll put this, I think I need to, the statements will inform the structure.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yes. Okay. Are we ready to move on from there?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So, there's no policy here. These are all statements of advocacy, or there's shoulds in here. So people should look at the language, see if they agree with it, and Sarah, make sure we don't step on any toes.
Yeah, I was looking at 7 through 10. I understand the collaboration, line 7 through 10. Oh, 9 through 12, excuse me.
Okay, I assume that.
I understand the collaboration with the water district. Just what I'm wondering, and I appreciate the acknowledgement in the front by state and federal laws, because we have the Oregon, the Forest Practices Act, which actually is what controls all of this.
For now.
Yeah. I mean, it's a statement. It's not a policy.
Right.
So I don't have a lot of heartburn over this at all. I can flag that, but because it's not a policy, I think I appreciate and understand the need to acknowledge the concerns.
I'm going to change that to should, just to be.
Instead of need.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
Oh, I'll just do it all as if you had done it then, the whole thing. Right? You don't need to look at it anymore.
That statement, I mean, I wrote that obviously.
Yeah.
But we have had some previous owners of the largest industrial timberland in our watershed be really good about notifications and timing. The state's notifications thing is so broad, it says you have a 2-week window or something. You know, we're going to spray and it's going to be within this 2-week window, and everybody understands why they need it because of when, if they're doing by helicopter or whatever. I mean, there's certain things that they have to take into account. But it really helps when they literally call you and say, we're spraying today and we shut the water intake down. Or we're not going to spray if we know it's going to rain tomorrow, because we know you're going to have to shut your intake down. I mean, there's little things within the law. They're still following the law, but there's so many things that where cooperation really helps, and certainly helps the water district. Uh, I'd say spraying is the biggest. The other big thing is, and I know we're being recorded here, but let's just say that there's some industrial timber companies that are much better at managing their culverts than others. And when they don't, and they get plugged, and we have runoff over roads, and we have sediment in the creek, and we have to shut our intake down. And then I can say that we have had to surreptitiously sometimes replace culverts on other lands, let's put it that way, because it's impacting our water. So there are things, I think, just asking and expecting cooperation. That's all it is. We can't, you're dealing with outside companies. So, so it's not all just all I'm saying is it's not all just what the laws require.
Well, as a former beekeeper, I needed to know within 12 hours of when something's going to happen, so I can board up my bees, because otherwise they'll starve.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yeah. So I think that this is an important statement.
But I say we leave it in, and if somebody tells us we got to take it out, then we still have to go through the state review process as well. I got to send this to DLCD. So,
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to accept that.
mm-hmm.
Oh, why did it do that? Oh,
Nice.
did I mention I love Word? Did I mention?
We're going to
I
get
did,
you the
yeah.
updated version for Christmas next year.
We're
excited.
It'll be so
Tell you
much
what.
better, I'm sure.
So you can give me a subscription to FrameMaker would be nice. I would like that.
FrameMaker.
Yeah, that's a professional publishing tool.
Did you help create it?
Oh, no. I just used it for 25 years.
And I think the second statement is, Tom asked me to say why. I think that's what that.
Yeah.
Lines 14 through 16.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need that prod anymore.
I think the why, I mean, it's let's see.
Do you think that 14 through 16 should go above?
Yeah, I added it after, because as Tom says, so why I think the only thing that's missing is, I don't think people understand when you have industrial timber operations that involve clear cutting, how much it impacts groundwater. And of course, our system is totally dependent on groundwater in the upper watershed.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that's missing. And I don't know how.
Well, I think if you take 14 through 16 and add it above 9,
Yeah, that's
you're
fine.
talking about logging, and then I don't know, because I think the punchline is that there should be collaboration, like the community desires collaboration with the water district and beekeepers desire that collaboration too, right?
So on Netflix, there's a movie called The Beekeepers, which I just watched over a very boring weekend. And if you ever need a movie that racks up kills faster than you can count on your fingers and whatever, The Beekeepers. You would be surprised. The Beekeeper.
Yeah, I don't. had tens of thousands of fatalities when I dealt with bees, but all of them were bees.
Yeah, in this case, it's
And if you,
the beekeeper that's causing the fatality.
okay. Yeah, I would keep bees here, but bears. Anyway,
All right.
Okay.
so do we need to have anything else in front of that, or just leave that as it is?
I think you can get rid of land use and environment too.
Okay. Less is more. Okay, so we're done with that? Okay, these are not changed. That doesn't seem to have, oh, that's part of that. There's a page break there.
Yeah.
Coordination with forest? Policy 23, whatever.
Yeah.
May the
I don't
forest
know.
be with you.
Yeah, okay.
So can we talk about policy 22 for just a quick sec?
Oops, going backwards.
Yeah, just we got rid of that 100-foot setback with the 406 updates.
Yeah.
And so this policy, I would say, I don't think this policy applies anymore.
It's done. We had a specific request and a change for a ordinance, which we removed because it was already done. So
Yeah.
this refers to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so anybody disagree? We can deep six this one?
Well, the new rule way we practice, we got rid of the 100-foot.
Mm-hmm.
But if I build within 25 feet of a forest, do I have to sign a waiver?
You sign a declaratory statement that says you accept that there will be adjacent farm and forest practices.
So this statement, right. So this statement
Refers to that, really. Doesn't it?
yeah. But I get that we don't have to say it. It's already it's there. And people who build within 100 feet of farm or forest will find out from the county that they're going to have to, in my language, waive a risk, and they can't interfere with the farm or forest activities.
Right. So they can't interfere and they accept that there will be noise, dust, smells. Right. So individual property owners that abut the farm or forest lands sign that declaratory statement, but it doesn't apply community wide. It's specific only to those properties abutting those farm and forest zones. And that doesn't mean that new uses, like, I don't know how we make sure that something does not adversely affect forest and agricultural uses. And I would say that's almost counter to what we've said above.
Yeah.
So
I think we take it out.
Concerned it would create confusion.
I think we take out policy 22.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, it starts off that the county shall insure, and of course, it already has. So you're.
Okay, are we good with that then? Okay,
Yes.
so I shall keep it to that will deleting policies means things get renumbered. So if you're in love with a particular number, tough.
Policy though, but Tom, keep policy 22 because going back to the natural resources discussion, we may add a policy there, which is going to be right by policy 21.
Okay.
So don't renumber. My point is don't renumber policies yet.
Okay, so I will just line out that part.
And we might move the box up because we may have two policies under natural resources.
So Sarah is kind of bringing up an old thing here, but thinking of under force, and if this policy 22 had said forest and agricultural activities, just for a minute here,
Yeah.
are there limits to forest and agricultural activities in land use within a residential zone, like an R1 zone?
No.
I read you can't have
Really going here again?
no, you can't have cows within 100 foot of a house in a residential zone, if I
Live.
remember.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some restrictions about agricultural use within a residential zone.
Correct.
So is are there others besides you can't have livestock within 100 feet of a home, another home?
No, because all the other allowable uses follow then the statutory definition of farm and forest uses.
So that's the only restriction that you know of.
Correct.
And livestock is
It's defined. It includes chickens.
it includes chickens. Okay.
Mhm.
All righty. Thank
Yeah,
you.
but yeah, you bet. But and what it is basically it's where their little barn or shelter is has to be back 100 feet, and it's from adjacent
Adjacent
residential
homes.
structures.
Right. Oh, structures, not even home. Okay.
Residential structures, which is essentially a home. But
Okay.
yeah, there's some nuance to it.
Okay.
But
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
okay. What do you think about 23?
Yeah, I was just looking at that. So the only thing I have about that is I don't have the technical expertise on staff to approve a pre-harvest development plan.
But that's Department of Forestry anyways.
It is. So approval by community development and imposing appropriate penalties, like I don't have the regulatory authority to do.
No. Yeah.
So I think what I would do is I would stop with when possible. Tillamook or Nescoin community encourages Tillamook County to coordinate with ODF to develop policies and procedures requiring pre-harvest identification conversions of forest land to residential or commercial development, period. And I would leave it there. Because I think what you're trying to say is you want some sort of communication and you want a process that brings it to the local level for community input or information regarding that conversion, right? And those harvesting activities. Is that what the punchline is here?
Well, yeah, but I think it's more of the harvesting. But because if there was an attempt by taking to going forest land for development, that would come through the county anyways. I mean, that would come through the community anyways. Although, well, not necessarily. It wouldn't be within the community boundary.
That's right. So if you have, let's say, like Nesco and our zone property that has the forest deferral, right? It has the forest special assessment.
Yeah.
And they're going to log it before they subdivide it.
Yeah.
Right. So the assessor's office is going to be a part of the deferral process. And they have to prepay taxes. And there's work that the assessor's office does with the Department of Forestry on that part. And then but we community development from a land use perspective, we would not be involved with that because they would do that harvesting activity under the Oregon Forest Practices Act, we would come in later strictly for just the subdivision or the
Right.
land division.
And and when Department of Forestry does that, they don't really consult with the community, anybody.
Or the county, because they don't
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
But I understand I appreciate what you're trying to ask for.
Yeah. Well, maybe DLCD has a way of thinking about it. I mean, we have a couple of areas from our zone lands that are heavily forested that could become a real eyesore. They were cleared out. Anyways, okay.
So where's that statement end? Ends with after commercial development or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's where we leave it.
So, so that goes away?
Yes. And I made myself a note for conflict with Oregon Forest Practices Act. Just so I
I'm
can,
sorry, I just got distracted. I missed what you just said.
I said I made a note for myself, Tom, to see if
Oh,
there
okay.
could be conflict with this policy with the Oregon Forest Practices Act.
Okay.
So should it say coordination with Forest Practices Act instead of coordination with forest, which is
I think the Department of Forestry is the right agency to
okay.
Yeah.
acknowledge there.
Yeah.
Okay. And we need to pare down the goals. Which ones don't belong? Sounds like one of those games, or one of the
Right.
tests. What doesn't belong?
Well, citizen involvement, goal 1 is specific to land use.
Yeah.
So, oh, um, we're going to try to tie it back to goal 5. So I would get rid of the others. I would put 5. And we're talking mostly about properties on the east side of 101, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so goal 17 isn't going to apply.
And do we leave one or not?
I would leave 5
Just
Oh,
5.
for right now. Yeah, let me look at that a little more. Because if we leave goals 3 and 4, this policy was actually could be in conflict with those goals because those goals allow for forest
Right.
practices outright. So we definitely don't want to put them in there. So maybe, and actually add 14 to that, Tom. I would say 5 and 14 for urbanization.
Okay.
and is the policy titled coordination with Department of Forestry?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Yeah, I think so. Good catch.
I think we lost Guy for a moment.
No, I'm here. You can't hear me?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
I was trying to listen to the news and whoever has it on in the background.
Okay. Multitasking. Okay. So are we happy or not completely unhappy with policy 23?
Right, we're accepting for the moment its limitations.
Yes, we understand, and we understand that Sarah is sympathetic.
Yes, thank you. Yes, very, very.
Okay. Should I go ahead and accept this, or do you want to leave it as change?
I would accept it.
Okay. I'll send out a version that has this not accepted, and that I will do
Then
the
you will
accepting.
change it. Okay.
Yeah. Then I'll fix it.
Plan
I
amenities
just
for-
had one thing on policy 24.
Okay.
Want to add goal 8? And I would get rid of goal 9 and I would put in goal 12.
Sarah,
Yes.
wasn't there I don't know why Yahats comes to mind, but maybe Yahats and maybe some other place in Lincoln County where were they objected to some clear cutting on forest above their community because of viewscape. There was some legal standing they felt they had because it was just interfering with their view in the community.
Mm,
Am I wrong about that? That happened like 10 years ago or something?
I don't know. I can make a note.
That viewscape was a legal protective somehow. I can look it up. I thought
Yeah.
maybe you could remember that. But yeah, it sticks in my mind that they were fighting with some industrial timber company that was going to shave at one of the mountains behind them.
Mm.
Anyways, okay, move on.
Okay. I
Yeah,
added these
what's up?
goals here. Obviously, it's going to have to be trimmed, so I just added a bunch.
Well, dark sky, Sarah. Let's see, what is our thing? Just to support the county, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lori's trying to get back on. What did you say about the dark sky policy? The county's working on.
County's going to work. Yeah, the
Okay.
county, as Sarah asked us a while back, to rather than us trying to fool with language. I mean, I pulled in some of the Deschutes County language.
Right.
I like the way they did resolution of issues, especially that kind of stuff. But I think what we heard from Sarah was we're
It's
all
gonna
better off
happen.
that the county attacks us and and for all the unincorporated communities.
Right.
So
So to give Guy a little planning commission update with that, I am almost done with Oceanside's fixes.
oh, okay.
We
So
are heavily involved in we had 5 community listening sessions the month of March. And
Yeah.
I am
So-
almost on the home stretch to bring that forward. And as soon as I get that going, Dark Skies is next.
you're talking about the zoning change we recommended.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that. And then because I know everyone's very interested in Dark Skies, I like policy 25. I think it's fine. And yeah, it is on its way. Just so you all know, I'm working through my work plan. But Tom,
Yes.
you have a goal. You have the word goal right underneath of that, outside of the box, next line, below the box.
Oh,
I
right
don't know.
there.
Yeah. And
That was, yeah, go ahead.
and the comp plan goals. So you're gonna get rid of 3 and 4. You're gonna add 11.
All right. So we just leave it until the county
Yeah.
proclaims it.
Are you thinking, Sarah, of putting together a small group to come up with some language to come back to.
Dan Kearns and I are doing the work, and I will bring it to each of the CACs for feedback.
Oh, okay, that's how you're going to approach them.
Yeah, because it's county-wide.
Yeah, I know it's kind of. I thought maybe you'd put a committee together representing the county to come up
Yeah.
with the language. But if you're doing it, actually, it's more effective and efficient. More efficient to do it that way.
Gonna try to get something done.
3 years of committee work, and then we got language. All right.
But definitely I'm going to want back on it. Yes, that's really important.
Yeah.
Okay. Randall, I don't know if it matters, but just we are approaching 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so I'm willing to wind down here. We made it we made it.
Wind down. Is that with a WINE? Wind down.
Yes, I'm ready to wind down WHINE.
Then there's that wine.
How close are we, Tom? We're 6 away, right?
Yeah. We've got that, and then
Watershed
we have the safety and
of persons.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Well, I
So
think
we've got some review delay things here too.
so if I can make a proposal,
yeah.
when is our next meeting, Ram?
In
Oh,
2 weeks, I believe.
2
2 weeks.
weeks, I think.
So I have a request because I am in the throes of budget hearings. And I am not going to be able to commit to getting all of my work done by our next meeting. If we
Okay.
keep going on the document at the next meeting, so Tom, we can keep going on edits and give me some time to finish my work, if that's okay. But I think maybe just keep going through the document would be helpful because I don't
Okay.
want you
Okay.
guys waiting for me. My timing right now is just a little tough with budget hearings.
Okay. So we'll review
Um,
25 through 31 at our next meeting. And there may be some things that you will have to come
I
back
will
to.
get to, yep, and I will, and as soon as I can, if, I'm just gonna take it a chunk at a time and I'll start giving things back to Tom.
Okay.
But it may be good to finish going through what we've
Right.
started and then we can circle back around to my stuff once I get it all done and Tom gets it in. What do you think about that?
Sounds good. So
Thank you.
I think I hear you recommending we go ahead and meet in 2 weeks, but we are not going to count on your
Yes.
attendance, and then we'll come back when you're available and review what we did.
No, thank you, Randall. So I will be there for the next meeting. I'm not gonna probably have all of my stuff done for Tom
Oh,
to
I see.
implement.
To the
So if we
previous.
just keep going with the red line edit discussions, I will, so where you're not waiting for me to get done at
Right,
the meeting,
right.
but we just keep going and I'll get Tom my stuff as I can,
Okay, so that makes sense. So
just to keep it moving.
we'll see you at the meeting, but the updates won't be done until later.
Correct.
Okay,
And
So
if
all
I,
right.
one thing we went past that I apologize for ignoring was wording for policy 19 and 20.
oh,
And I'm not used to our new way of doing things, so
yeah. So
I
19,
screwed up there.
Tom, 19 is shoreline development, so that's part of mine. So I need to,
Okay,
that's a deliverable for me. And then I'm gonna take Guy's language and policy 20 and see if I can rework that just a little bit.
okay. So they're still hanging fire.
And
So I didn't do that badly after all. Okay, fair enough.
oh, you're doing amazing. No, that's all on me now.
All right.
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
so I've saved this as version 42. I'll send that out. And I'll then subsequently do the accepts in the various areas like this and send out 43. And that'll be our basis for our discussions next time.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, thank you everyone for hanging in there, and we made progress again, and I will send out the minutes, and I will send out an agenda uh, indicating what we just talked about is the way we're working still. Okay, thank you very much. There's no public here, so no public comments. And I hereby adjourn the meeting and have a good evening.
Nice to see you.
You.
Thank you.
Night.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.